Test, test, test. Hello and good evening and welcome back to APPF1 Tier 1 for tonight's dose of racing action. We are at a circuit that has played host to one of the most controversial moments in Formula 1 history, and a track that since its redesign 4 years ago has produced some fantastic racing, even if that redesign was just the layout of one or two corners. A track that I have grown to love very much over the years. We are in Abu Dhabi, of course, for qualifying to kick off this evening's racing. Let's get on board then. A car heading out into the pits. Looks like we've got Joey B in a Mercedes who will be out first through the tunnel underneath turn 1 and out onto exit in towards turn number 3. Let's run you through the drivers' standings and the constructors' standings as well. Kylo Ren still leading the way with Dakar 5 points behind, closing down that gap. Can he close down even further? Maybe even take the lead tonight. Verstappen, his teammate, not too far back as well. He's had a few bad races. Well, I say bad races. He's had a few races that haven't been equal to his win so far in Tier 1, but I'm sure he will be back in form. Perhaps tonight we could see quite the battle take place. Finley's in P4 for now. We'll see if he comes back at all this season to race again. Paulie Orange is P5, rounding off that top 5 drivers with Ghost, Josh, MX, Lewis and Tomash, the top 10. We've then got Palang, Griffin, myself, Kevin O'Reilly, Jasper TH, Rick, Koru, Jackalacco, Silbo Bags and Joey B, the top 20 drivers in Tier 1 so far. Sauber lead the way in the Constructors' Championship. They have a mighty lead, 45 points ahead of everybody else. P2 is Red Bull. Then you've got Williams, Haas, Ferrari, Mercedes, RB, Alpine, McLaren and Aston Martin as Joey B is going to take us on our first tour of Abu Dhabi as he crosses the line, uses a little bit of battery down towards turn number 1, left-hander down into 4th gear, very wide of the apex, using as much of the track as possible and then some. Flat through turn 2, flat through 3, get on that curb. Somebody's already taken out the bollards around the area. Then down towards turn number 4. This is turn number 5 actually. Breaking through there. Joey B could have carried some more speed, but exits pretty decently. Now onto that painted strip there. It's flatter. You can take a little bit more speed down this straight if you ride along there, and then braking as late as you dare. Third gear into this chicane. Tricky exit here now. Joey B just about gets it right, and then into the next DRS zone, down towards this parabolic corner of turn number 9 of this racetrack. A great circuit to take in a qualifying lap. JB down to 4th gear. You can take it up in 5 as well. You can hear the engine just wanting to have that little bit more power fed into it. And then into this hotel section now, 3rd gear here. Is Joe going to go up to 4th? He is. Give him that little bit more stability for this tricky left-hander here. And now 2 corners left. Flat through this one. And then in towards the final corner where it can make or break a lap through here. Joey B is going to cross the line for us. And he's going to set a 124.2. He's immediately going to be followed by QVR Verstappen at 22.9. A solid time from him. We've then got Xterek. Tier 2 champion, of course. 2 or 3 times, I can't remember. He's up into P2 now as well. MX's teammate dethrones him there as well before I could ride on board. Rick into P5. We've got the other Sauber of Dakar now into the top place. They keep crossing the line before I can go on to them. Kylo Ren now into pole position. They're all flying across the line. Paulie Orange there as well. Then Lewis just set a time. Let's ride on board with the Williams. I think that's Josh. No, it's Ghost. We're coming around the final corner as well. Scrappy lap from Ghost. P10 for him so far in this session. Kevin O'Reilly crosses the line now to go up to P7. We've then got an Alpine. Is it the debutant? Yes, LTB crosses the line into P14. The second Alpine of Jasper going P6 actually. So a solid run from him. Jackalacco moves up into P14. Josh, the next car to come across the line. Round the 2 corners, Hugo's put himself up into P2 as well. Red Bull 1-2 so far as Josh goes 16th so far in this qualifying session. Griffin, Koru, Lawrence all yet to set times, of course. Koru on an outlap, Griffin on an outlap as well. Koru is the furthest up of the drivers on an outlap, so we'll see what he can manage. But the laps came in thick and fast in this opening part of qualifying. Hard to keep up a little bit. No dramas, coffee always here. If there's a little bit of confusion, me and Lewis share the tier 1 responsibilities. Lewis is here when he is available and not working, and I am here when Lewis is unavailable and he is working, so long as I am not working. And that is why I'm here, giving you my beautiful voice, covering Tier 1. And of course, Koru is going to come to set his first lap time, just finishing off that outlap, car number 2. And that scarlet red Ferrari with this horrible blue dots. Making his way through the final corner now. He's going to start his lap. Let's follow along with Koru then. Promoted, of course, from Tier 2 last season into Tier 1. Can he get that Ferrari into the top 10? Paulie Orange just narrowly missing out on the top 10 by a few hundredths of a second from Lewis there as well. But we're still very early on in this qualifying session. Koru through Sector 1 goes purple, but we'll ignore that for the time being. The game likes to tell us that everyone's going purple on their first runs, or at least it used to. I don't know if they fixed that or not. I've never been able to tell. But Koru using all of that painted section of the track. It's flatter down there, so there's less friction on the bottom of the car, less bottoming out. Could have maybe taken that in third gear, but Koru looking like he needs to turn in there, but doesn't compromise him too much if you look at the nature of the car as he comes through the corner. Now we go down in towards turn number 9. Like I say, great corner. It's a bit like Spoon Curve, but a little smaller. I'd say it's a hybrid of Spoon and Parabolica from Monza, to be honest. But it goes left, which is the only difference between it and Parabolica, I suppose. But still, under the hotel we go. I hear there's a little restaurant up there. AP, our league founder, said he's eaten in that restaurant above this very racetrack. But round the final corner comes Koru. He's going to set a time of a 1:23.5. He'll want to go faster with that one. Is that Griffin crossing the line? It is. He goes up to P12 in his RB. Lawrence has ventured out on circuit, everybody, as well. So we'll follow along with him as he navigates the traffic. I think that was his teammate just getting out of the way. That's Tomasz there. Surprise pole sitter for Baku, it must be said. He was really fighting some heavy hitters in that qualifying session and took away the pole. Couldn't convert it into a win or a podium, but tried his best. It was a chaotic race if you were there. And remember, of course, put in your predictions as well for pole position and even for the top 3 as well as we get through the session. But here comes Lawrence to complete his first rotation of this circuit, and very squirrely on the exit, and that's going to put him all the way down in P20. Let's find out who is next. It's Joey B again, and he's 2/10 up. This could put him into probably 16th, I'll say so far, for Joey B. Kylo and LTB front row. I didn't spot LTB there, actually. And this is a very close qualifying session. If you're sort of Hugo, LTB, Dakek, Verstappen as well, I think those two will be... they might have a little bit more work to do tonight with a few more big names, fast drivers out on the circuit, it seems, so far. Joey B round the final couple of corners in his Mercedes. Can he get his way further up the grid? Let's see. It's a 1:23.5, 16th. Only a few hundredths of a second behind Ghost there in P15. Let's find out who else is out on a lap. I think Paulie Orange might be the lead driver on a lap. He's 3 tenths up on his previous attempt so far. Let's find MX though. I think MX is actually slightly ahead of him. Let's see what the German is up to in that Haas car. Making his way around is Tomasz as well, actually. Gosh, it's so hard to take place. And Tomasz invalidates. So, never mind. Here comes MX. What can he do in that Haas car? Rounds the final corner now. Back up to P2 for MX, my old Tier 1 teammate from way back when. P5 for Paulie Orange. Let's see. Jasper's just starting a lap, but his teammate LTB also just starting a lap. I think that McLaren's starting a lap there as well. So it looks like we're going to be riding on board with the Williams of Ghost. As he's had a bit of a rough time in qualifying, I think. In all honesty, Ghost is normally a driver who's up there in the sort of top 5, top 7 sort of range. But he's been starting outside the top 10 or just at the bottom half of the top 10 there, really. But let's see what he can do in that Williams this time. No Lawrence to roast him today. But let's see. Rounds the final corner in that Williams. Little bit squirrely from Ghost. But up into P11 as QVR Verstappen improves his time to P2. The two Red Bulls are crossing the line now. Hugo goes fastest. How about Kylo Ren, championship leader? Can he go quicker? Yes, he can. A 22.3 for Kylo Ren. That was Lewis just going up to P8 there. Dakar as well. Can he pull something out of the bag? He's very fast over one lap, but not quite. It's so close now between these top four drivers. Can Extrek get himself among them there as well? No, he can't. In fact, I think he's down a lap. I think he's only just done a lap, but let's see if he'll go again. I'm sure he will. How about LTB? I've been told he might be starting on the front row by Coffee in his prediction, and he is putting himself there in P2. Slowest in Tier 1 are roughly near the top of Tier 2 drivers. Are incredible. Yeah. I mean, if you're top of Tier 1, you're an alien or you don't go outside. You know, it's one or the other. Or you get paid to do this sort of stuff. You know. Or, I mean, who remembers COVID? Remember COVID? A pretty rubbish time all around, but if you're a league racer, god damn, you had so much time to practice. Those are the good times, man. I was, what, ninth in the overall ELOs in the league? Long gone are those days. Long gone indeed. I think everybody's taking the time to get back to the pits. Koru, the only driver on a lap, it seems. Perhaps Rick's on a lap as well. How about Jackalacco? No. Just Koru then. Perhaps Jasper is on a lap. It looks like it. And he spins just underneath the hotel. And that's going to ruin his second run of the evening. So back to Koru then. Into the hotel section. My favourite section of this track, actually. I love this section of circuit. It's great for racing and overtaking. Cheering on Hugo. Hello, Heinz. It went better, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure what exactly happened to my form as Koru goes P12. Maybe finishing P2 just took a little bit of a mental toll. But you know what? It's a game. At the end of the day, one time you're up, next time you're not. And Abu Dhabi's a track I enjoy, so just got to get my head down and get back to racing, which I'm sure these drivers will be wanting to do. Lawrence, I think, in a similar boat to me this Tier 2 season. Can he gain some redemption here tonight as he makes his way through turn number 9? Let's see what he can do in Sector 3. Let's ride on board with my long-time friend and rival, making his way underneath the hotel. He doesn't want to spin here. He's got too many bad memories of this corner. Does Lawrence, using all the battery he's got left to finish off this lap. This is looking decent this time from Lawrence. Keeps it in a straight line. 23.7. He's fighting amongst Rick and Jackalacco there in the two McLarens. Let's see what else we've got. Tom Ash, is he out on a lap? Yes, he is. Let's ride on board with the Aston Martin now. Up marginally on his previous times. This will more than likely be his final attempt at the session. Along with everybody else, unless he has an issue setting a lap. Already used a lot of battery there, though. Down this main straight. Through the chicane he comes. Nice looking helmet from Tom Ash, the black and pink. I do like a pink lid. Let's see what he can do. As close to the inside as possible. Just under 0.2 of a second improvement from Tom Ash. Let's see what he can do. This might not quite get him into the top 10, although if he can find some more time here, I think he can possibly get himself P8, P9. That sort of region is what we're looking at for the Aston Martin driver. Using all the curb possible there, getting nice and close to the wall, locking up into the final corner, using all the track he's got, and there it is, P9, 23.0. Not a bad effort at all. Extrek, old nemesis of mine, up in Tier 1, among the big boys now, making a name for himself. He doesn't make the races often, but when he does, he is a driver to keep an eye on. He can often produce some fantastic results. Tom Ash has retired on the circuit, it seems, which I think is a bit naughty. Yes, so there is a ELO ranking system, Heinz. I have a vague understanding of the a vague understanding of how it works. Ghost deals with all that, though. I'm not a numbers man. I'm the charisma, if you've listened to the APPF1 podcast. But yes, so each driver has a ranking, a qualifying and a race ranking that then both, I guess, I don't think they add together, but they both narrow down a overall ranking from using both of those, and then it gives you a predicted qualifying and a predicted race result, and then depending on if you finish above or below those, your ranking goes up or down by a certain number of points. It's all a fantastic system. I don't know how Ghost has the time to manage the league, do that and do this, that and the other, but the man's crazy. What can I say? He does a lot for you guys, and I hope you all appreciate it. I'm sure you do. But you can find it in the Discord server there as well if you are in now. Of course, here comes Extract though. While we've been explaining the ELO system, can he get his way further in? Only P9 for Extract on that occasion. Paulie Orange has started a lap. Let's see, the McLarens are going through. Is that Kevin O'Reilly? He's starting a lap there as well. MX, we've been keeping an eye on this man. He's starting a lap there. How about Dakar? 4/10 of an improvement. I think he's starting as well. Lots of drivers starting laps. I'm trying to figure out who is next across the line. Is it Griffin? No. He's just started a lap as well. Lewis has. Ghost. I think he's just improved his time. No dice. QVR Verstappen unable to improve perhaps. Only marginally, and he doesn't improve his position, just improving his lap time. Home Hug, or Hugo as he's better known, up almost 0.3 of a second. This is looking good enough for pole position from the Red Bull. We're in squeaky bum time now. The drivers putting everything they can into this final few minutes of the session as drivers start taking the checkered flag, and Hugo onto provisional pole position. Can his teammate knock him down? He hasn't improved. Has he found time in the last sector? He has! A 22.2 marginal improvement. LTB spins across the fire before he can cross the line, and that's his session over on debut there as well. Joey B crosses the line up into 13th. Not a bad go. How about Koru? He's only up marginally there as well. Enough for P11. The two McLarens. Rick goes up into P7. Jack Alaco, he's going to cross the line into P19. MX now. Let's see what he can do. Not up all that much. And only P6 for the German, and another spin from the other Alpine. Jasper into the wall. That is unfortunate for him. Lewis crosses the line, unable to improve, perhaps distracted a little bit by the stricken Alpine. Ghost crossing the line. He's done for the day. Extrek, is he going on another run? He isn't. Anybody else out on a run? I don't think so. I think it's over for everybody else. And it's a Red Bull 1-2. Kylo Ren and Hugo 1 and 2 in this session. Dakar gave it everything to try and catch up, but found himself just over 1/10 of a second behind pole position. But P3 is not a terrible place to strike from. LTB splitting the two Saubers there as well. Interesting. It's got to be said though, bad day for Williams, Ghost and Josh, but there's no points for qualifying. Jack Alaco and Lawrence propping up the bottom. Not the racing they would have liked. Well, not the session they would have liked even. Rick, though, solid attempt into P7. And we'll go through all of the results in just a few moments. Coffee, sad that LTB crashed. Well, you'd think that. One stop, it's weird. You can do the 1 and you could do the 2. Josh did well to pull it off, but we'll see what they do in the race. Kylo Ren then is your pole man. He is going to be joined by his teammate Hugo on the front row. We've then got Dakar and LTB with QVR Verstappen rounding off the top 5. Then there's MX, Rick, Paulie Orange, Lewis, X-Trek. And then you've got Tomash, Griffin, Koru, Jasper, Ghost, Joey B, Kevin, Josh, Jackalako and Lawrence, the rest of the grid who will line up to start this race. But it's back to the strategy, though. I feel like they're pretty equal, 1 and 2 stop here. Obviously, you've got to take an extra stop, and in Tier 2, there was a safety car, which meant that everybody got a free stop. So, I don't know. I feel there's only a few seconds in it between the two, and the tyre wear varies here. We'll see. You'll have to hit up Josh the guy who won the Tier 3 race and ask him. Yes. There was one point in time I was top of Tier 2 as well in the rankings, but I decided that I didn't want to be top of Tier 2 anymore because I like it down in the second half of the ELO screens. But yes, and drivers still being added all the time as well to the ELO rankings. But put those top 3 predictions in now. We've seen qualifying. Not sure which is better. It depends. I think I did okay with the 2 stop, but the spin cost me loads of time. So we'll see. We will see. But yes, put those predictions in. 7 people watching. Nice to have you all here. Thank you, Coffee and Heinz, for joining me in the chat at the very least. It's lonely in here. If you were a fan of Tier 2 back in the day, it was me and Ghost, but it's now just me for Tier 1. Let's have a little drink of water before we get started. Amazing. We'll find out, perhaps, which is better. If I can tell you one thing, Paulie Orange will definitely be going for the 1 stop. He's done it every race so far. So if you want to know about tyre management, Paulie Orange might be one to hit up. Finley 1 stop. Thank you, Finley. If that's an opinion to trust. It's the three-time Tier 1 champion. 2 or 3 times in Elite as well, I can't remember. Anyway, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights for round number 5, the halfway point of the season. And we are underway and racing, and it looks like a solid start from Kylo Ren. Hugo bogged down a little bit, but he manages to get it in the second phase there as well. Dake fighting with LTB on the start there as well. MX trying to gain a place on QVR Verstappen as they go side by side through the first few corners, and that's Dake fighting off LTB. LTB is going to come under pressure now from MX and Verstappen. Everybody's got through the first few corners nice and cleanly. Here comes MX though, still fighting with Verstappen, looking for the inside of LTB. Verstappen boxed in there as well. Little bit of jostling for places further back, but we're watching this battle as they make their way down the main straight. MX pulls out to try and get ahead of the Alpine here as well. Late on the brakes goes the German down the inside, and they touch for a moment. MX gets through, but still LTB holds it in. MX run off the circuit even, but he's able to get ahead of this Alpine and claim P4. A solid start for the Haas driver. Meanwhile, Rick held places there as well. Lawrence and Jacko going side by side further down. There's a whole gaggle of cars going side by side through this corner. The 2 Williams drivers trying to make places up, and his car's off the track. Somebody's round his Paulie Orange, and there's a safety car virtual. My, what a start to this race. Xterek losing a few places there as well. Maybe just caught out by the VSC. The Paulie Orange round. Has he got damage on that? Yes, he does. He was one of the cars off the circuit. Wow, what a quick start to this race. Big winner though, Kevin O'Reilly and Josh up 4 places. Those 2 Williams finding themselves in a very familiar position again this season, having to fight their way from the back. But strategy-wise, as Paulie Orange retires, and Hugo gets a drive-through for speeding under the virtual safety car. What's going on? Oh, it's ended, and it's still yellow on my screen, but it's back and going as Hugo Hunt gets robbed, perhaps, but then they let him back through. I'm not sure what happened there. That was very strange from those drivers, but Kylo Ren has shot off away. MX now challenging Hugo for second place in this race, and there's a bit of action further back. There's Rick and Verstappen going wheel to wheel, the McLaren and the Sauber now. Lewis and Exterek going racing as well. There's so much going on here in Tier 1 so far, and Hugo back past MX there as well. He's got that drive through to serve within the next 3 laps though. MX has damage on that Haas car. We might see some stewarding reports for that VSC ending incident. There is the Alpine of Jasper, loses the rear end, avoids the cars behind him, thankfully. And now Josh is going to look to the outside. There's a strange ghosting incident going on with the other Williams. It's Ghost actually trying to get past Jasper as Josh got damage. I don't know. I can't quite see it. The tyre is ruining the view. He doesn't have damage. Okay. It's all happening here in Tier 1. There's Josh and Kevin O'Reilly getting racy in Turn 1. Josh gets past the Mercedes driver, making his way up. I've just transferred him into my Tier 1 team. Come on, Josh. Make those places up, please. TB going for moves. Exterek and Lewis going side by side. Lots of late moves in towards Turn 5. That's what you like to see. LTB and Dakar now resuming this battle. These three have been battling lap after lap after lap. They're going to go 3 wide almost. Almost pinched was Dakar by MX and LTB there. LTB up into P3 though. You had a massive glitch. As is another safety car, somebody else is round. I think that's Kevin O'Reilly. Yeah, lost his front wing. Another VSC. That's a shame. That is a shame for Hugo. Glitches like that, there's nothing we can do about it. Because the glitch comes up and then you're... yeah, well, a drive-through or a 10-second penalty, unless it's toward the end of the race and it's unjust, you normally have to serve. But Hugo, I don't know if he can serve it under VSC, actually. He might be able to, as LTB now gets the drive-through. Same glitch, perhaps. Who knows? But Hugo into the pits? No. LTB does come into the pits, though, to serve his drive-through penalty. And that's going to be a big, big disappointment for him. As he drops all the way down. The racing back underway now. MX... leading this train here. Hugo and Kylo Ren both in a world of their own. We'll see if they can catch up to one another. But MX has the 2 Saubers for company. These guys are leading the Constructors' Championship. This could all change now that the 2 Red Bulls are here and they're fighting for the places out the front of the field. Here comes Dakar though, a Scotsman looking for a way past MX, but not going for it on this occasion. Smart Racing doesn't want to give MX the DRS for the next straight, which is right here. Dakar now. Let's see if that Sauber can close in, or is MX going to dump all that battery? Let's see. Dakar, where's he going to go? To the inside, perhaps? No. Thinks better of it. Stays behind the Haas car for now. MX got a lot of ERS in the tank, perhaps running lower wings. Meanwhile, Josh and Lewis going for a battle with each other. Lewis getting passed by the Williams driver who ends the top 10. No, it's glory. Unless you want to count a little star by your name in the server and on your driver stat card and such. Hugo's in the pits, by the way, serving that drive-through now. Tomasz getting past him and everybody. So, get distracted. I see movement on the timing table. I'm like, oh, who's going? Anyways, Tomasz though passes Exeric Griffin as well. Who is that now dropping down? That's Rick. What's happened to Rick? He's had a moment, and I think his miserable season continues for the Dutchman. Meanwhile, Dakar now gets a great exit ahead of MX. They're drawing side by side of each other. A little bit of wheel banging. Robin is racing, as they say, as Dakar gets through. MX, is he going to go late on the brakes, though? Underneath the... Oh, he's got in contact with Dakar. Spins around. He loses a bunch of places now. That one might end up in the stewards. I don't know. MX struggling with that damage, but it's now a Sauber 1-2 after Hugo's penalty. Verstappen gets past his teammate now as Tomasz getting involved in this racing. The mediums don't last all that long. Their window is very, very fragile here in this race, and the hards do come into it quite early on. But Tomasz challenging. Daker's got a penalty. What's that penalty all about, Daker? Let's find out. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Can't do it. There we go. Penalties. Just 3 seconds. It's track limits. 10 seconds for Griffin. Possibly speeding in the pit lane. Not sure. Meanwhile, 7.4 seconds is the gap to Kylo Ren. QVR Verstappen, I think, allowed to go ahead perhaps, as Daker and him are on different strategies. In comes Rick for a pit stop. LTB in for a pit stop as well. I think 2-stop races for these guys perhaps. They're going to go onto the hard tyres and try and put in a solid stint. They'll hope for a safety car perhaps. They'll have Kevin O'Reilly for company, of course. Meanwhile, MX demoted down to P5, but look at this massive train behind him. Here comes Exterek. Oh, and there goes Griffin as well, trying to get racy with Exterek there as well. Exterek loses out. He was trying to get through on his teammate. Doesn't quite do it. Aggressive defense from Exterek there though, and keeps Griffin behind. Josh takes full advantage of that and makes his way up into P7. Josh is having a fantastic race here, just carving his way through the field. Ghost not making the same sort of progress, but Jasper made a move on Griffin there as well. He was trying to get past, unable to do so. There's Lewis as well. More position changes as Koru and Joey B go racing with one another into the hotel section. Joey B passes the Ferrari there. Exterek close to the back of his teammates still. There's so much fighting going on. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars in this train that starts all the way from MX, who has now pitted to let them all go. Can Exterek open up the gap perhaps? Hugo gets past a bunch of cars who have actually pitted there as well. I think a lot of these drivers are going for the 2-stop. I think everybody who's just pitted will be on a 2-stop race. So that's Jasper, Lawrence, Jack, MX, LTB, Kevin, Rick, all on 2-stop races. We'll see how long everybody else chooses to go. Because the undercut is very powerful here. As Griffin and Exterek once again battling in towards turn number 6. Oh, and they're still rubbing each other as they go through. Just enough racing space left between the two of them. Ghost is watching this unfurl as well. Can he get involved in the action? Everyone's got DRS. Ghost pulls all the way to the outside now. Can he try and go around both of them? He doesn't. Griffin and Exterek still side by side through turn number 9. This is fantastic racing between the two of them. Exterek holds him off for now, but Griffin looking to go around the outside into the hotel section, but backs off. Oh, sensible from Griffin. This is helping Josh though. He's up into P5. This battling will open up that gap. Josh will start running away. Ghost is going to take advantage here as well. Any of these drivers coming in, all of the top 4 have passed the pits. Josh stays out. Everyone else stays out. Except for Joey B. Joey B's in. Hugo will zoom past. And let's see how powerful that undercut is. Here's Jasper coming through the final 2 corners. Joey B into his pit box. Jasper there. Joey B's been released. Let's see. He's going to pass him now. Joe will be able to go on the throttle. There goes Jasper. And I think Joe's going to emerge. Oh, it could be tight between him and MX here. Let's see. There's MX making his way through. Joey B is going to be on the left-hand side of your screen. There he goes. Just ahead. There's an Alpine round. That's LTB. His day getting bad, or going from bad to worse. And another safety car? No, just a yellow flag. But you can see the power of that undercut there. But Joe B, fresh tyres, he'll have a go. Meanwhile, the battle for the podium. It's just calm down a little bit. Verstappen's there trying to reel in Kylo Ren. He's closed the gap by about a second over the last few laps. Tomasz is falling off the back of Daker there as well. Both Saubers staying out. Tomasz stays out as well. Extra closes back in on Josh. If you know Extra from Tier 2, you know his race pace just gets better and better and better as the session goes on. Cora and Lewis swapping places there as well. Lewis in the pits, in fact. That is why they're swapping. Hugo's trying to reel in the drivers ahead as well. But all these battles have just calmed down a little bit now. Everybody's settled in. Drivers at the back. Lewis wing change as well. That's going to really ruin his race. As Lawrence chases after Jasper in the Alpine. Having a much better day of it so far is the Aston Martin driver. We'll see if he can continue that trend. Is Josh under any pressure? No. Extract not closing in yet. Lots of battery at his disposal. Josh, not much. Griffin in there as well. Lots of battery. Ghost has used a lot of battery to try and stay with everybody there. Lots of drivers trying to break the slipstream. It's not that powerful round here. And that's Tomasz. He's had an incident. Has he got damage on that Aston Martin? He doesn't, but he's got a bit of a half spin by the looks of things. As Rick gets his way past Lewis, who gets very close to the back of that gearbox. Get a right old look at the underneath, well, the backside of that McLaren there. I'm glad I'm not an engineer. I bet that low textured Rick would really wind some people up. Hugo, quite a huge. Yeah, he has. He has indeed, and that's decent pace from Hugo. Griffin in. So this top 10 group now. Now we'll see the power of the undercut because Jasper's coming in. Here he is. Here's Jasper and Lawrence. They're both going to get past. Griffin serving his time penalty there as well. So yeah, he'll be way down. No point watching that one. It's not really an undercut when you're serving a penalty, but Tomasz, he was with the leaders, now he's in no man's land. And now it's just the two Saubers who are finishing on the podium. We'll see what Hugo chooses to do here, because it's going to be an interesting fight for him to get back on the top. If he stays out, he'll be undercut most likely by some of the drivers ahead of him. He's going to fall prey to the undercut for those behind. However, those behind are going to have to stop again. So how far can you take these medium tyres? Probably about 14, 15 laps, I would say. 12 at minimum, if you're going to try for an undercut. Again, meanwhile, the gap to Kylo Ren has closed down a little bit more, almost down by 2 seconds. So QVR Verstappen putting in a shift in that Sauber. Josh still leading this train in P5. He's having a solid race of it so far. Him and Ghost making great progress. Here's Koru now into the pits. No wing change for the Ferrari, just tyres, hards, and away he goes. There's Jasper getting through. Everybody else undercutting the Ferrari. I think he'll come out just behind Kevin here. Yeah, just behind Kevin O'Reilly. We'll slot Koru. And this is a sight that you don't want to see in Tier 1. It's the two Williams drivers fighting another car. Although that car is Extra's car, which, well, he's no slouch on a racetrack. That neither are Josh and Ghost, who work very well together. But here comes Extra down the inside of Josh. Gets the move done. And ahead of Josh in towards Sector 3. Pretty easy pass, if I say so myself. Interestingly, Kylo Ren stays out once again, as do the two Saubers. Tomasz will likely stay out. How about Extra in this gaggle of cars? Let's see, as Rick and Lewis battling once again. Rick out ahead on this undertake. Oh dear. Undertake, overtake? What's the interval to the leader for the rest of the grid? Let's have a look. Gap to leader. Rest of the grid. So Tomasz, I guess, if he's the best of the rest, is 12.4 seconds. As Hugo now into the pits there as well. And then I guess this lead train, 17.4 from Extrac and his gaggle. So it's quite a big gap there, as you can see. But actually, Verstappen's closed in again, another second now. Those mediums are really starting to lose their advantage here now. We could have a bit of a race on. Kylo Ren, I think he might come under a bit of pressure. He might start thinking about that pit stop now. We'll see if he comes in. X-Ray still leads this train, but Josh has great closing speed. Means to get it against it though. Just stays behind X-Ray. And keeps going. That's Joe and Cora, is it? No, it's not. It's Cora and Kevin O'Reilly. Getting my Mercedes mixed up. As into the pits is Kylo Ren. There it is. So he should be able to take the Haas to the end from here. But maybe a bit of pressure put on him from the Saubers, who I think they're going to be looking to get a 1-2 in this race. As Ghost into the pit lane, pulls the trigger for Williams now. Let's see where he comes out in relation to the cars behind him. As I don't think he's really racing any of these cars behind. They're all on the 2-stop. So he'll want clear air. He's going to be behind Joey B. And he might just get ahead of Koru. Let's see. Koru comes through the final corner now. The first corner now, I should say. He won't, in fact. He might even be out behind Rick. Let's see. Look on the left-hand side of your screen. Here comes Rick, the Dutchman. There's Ghost emerging in the peripheral and into clear air, I think, there. That's not too bad of a place. Rick will hopefully... Well, Ghost will hope Rick doesn't go for the attack on him. But he's got to warm up those tyres first, does Ghost. Meanwhile, you've got to start thinking like Josh, Extrac, the two Saubers will be coming in soon. This is a battle of strategy now. There's not too much track action so far. But strategy is what we're looking for. Lewis down a place, fighting with Hugo, who has only just pitted. Hugo down in 16th. There he is. Trying to battle away with Rick now. Looking to the outside of the McLaren. No way through there for the Red Bull. Looks to the outside again, perhaps. Maybe to the inside. Oh, brakes late. Thinks about it. But backs off. Meanwhile, Dakar in. Let's see. I mean, he should be out in clear air. There he goes. Josh is in as well, by the way. Let's see if his teammates undercut him. Interestingly enough, Dakar out ahead of the train. Ghost is coming through now, and Ghost does get the undercut. And actually, Josh has lost out a lot of places for that pit stop. That one lap later has cost him. However, remember, he's not fighting most of these cars. He is fighting Hugo, though. So Hugo's splitting the two Williams. But I think most of these cars, they'll be lucky to make it to the end. 7.3 seconds is the gap to Kylo Ren now. Tomash is in amongst it still as well. But I think P4 will be what he's looking at today. Jasper having a solid race. Lawrence up in the top 6. Remember, though, I think these guys are on a 2-stop. So, effectively, Ghost is P5? Yes. Ghost is P5 right now. He passes Kevin O'Reilly nice and easy. Up into P11. He'll start chasing after Koru, who he might try and go to the end on those 3-lap old tyres. Verstappen stays out. He's still on that medium... Well, he's still on that long stint. Not really losing time so much. I mean, Kylo's slowly reeling him in, I guess. Kylo will be attacking Tomash soon, I'd have thought. Within the next lap. Maybe even this lap. Tomash has lost about half a second through that hairpin. So Kylo Ren could be in for it. Let's see. Does he get into the DRS detection point? Oh, yes, he does. Tomash gets an awful, awful exit. And I think, yeah, he just pulls out of it to the side and lets Kylo Ren through, who looks like he's going to win this race. in dominant fashion so far. Some battles going on. Hugo making moves. Lewis trying to make moves on Rick here as well. In towards the chicane. Josh is in amongst this fight as well. Just doesn't want to get too involved with these guys. He's made up a couple places already, has he? I think. He'll look to get past Lewis here. Does he go for it? Looks to the inside, the outside. Doesn't go for the move though. Can he use the grip on that hard tyre to fight his way through on the exit? He can't quite do it. He's going to stay behind that RB for another lap, which will cost him some time because his teammate 3-4 cars ahead of him. Tomasz still out on those hard tyres. I mean, about 17 to 15 laps maybe. I think you can make a case for pitting on lap 16. Extract needs an invite. Oh dear. I will try my best, Extract. Bear with me 1 second. Well. That's annoying. I'll try again. But it's not loading the friends page. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to invite you back, Extract. Unfortunately, as that's Tomasz, that tyre wear really getting to him now. MX looking for a move on Jasper, gets himself into P5. I think he'll be looking for the lead of this 2-stop train we've got going on here as Josh fights his way past Lewis and now past Kevin O'Reilly there as well. Must have got that done while we were trying to get Extract back in. Unfortunate, Extract, I can't get you back in. EA just being rubbish again. Verstappen, I don't know if he could be under threat from Tomasz. I don't think he will be for an undercut. In fact, Jacko's going to come out ahead. A lot of cars coming out ahead. There's Ghost as well, actually. So Ghost down undercut working for him. Josh it working for him as well. But keep an eye on Tomasz. He's been relatively quick. There's Lewis there as well. He's going to come out ahead of both the RBs. But Josh will look behind him and think, well, I've got a pretty nifty Aston Martin on mediums. And they're fighting for this sort of top 5 place. I'll give it one more go, Extract. No. Nothing. Doesn't want to load. I'm sorry, dude. As Rick passes Griffin, splits the 2 RBs. Oh, and Griffin goes into the back of him. Little love tap there. I don't think he got any damage, did the RB. Still got a fully intact wing. There's Tomasz getting past Josh. Using those mediums to great effect. Josh will just want to stay with him now. QVR Verstappen now in. Let's see where he's going to come out. He'll want to come out ahead. I mean, he should come out ahead of Ghost and the like. He should actually come out ahead of MX and Lawrence here as well, actually. Yes, definitely will. No dramas there for the top 3. Not really a battle for the podium. Lawrence, though, will he try and get these hards all the way to the end? I would be shocked if he goes for it. MX might try the same thing, though. I mean, Denko took his hards all the way to the end in Tier 2. I was tempted to do the same thing, but the grip, it just showed. So keep an eye on Lawrence and MX. They might start to tumble down the order toward the end of the race. Ghost, meanwhile, looking for P6. I think he'll be after P4 here, but I think this entire gaggle of cars, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way down to Josh. This is the fight for P4 in the race. Goes down the inside of Koru, takes the slightest little gap, gets the move done on the Ferrari. The Ferrari doesn't fight him back. He's got the oldest tyres of these 3 cars, all fighting for that provisional P4. Joey B, a 3-second time penalty. Hugo pushing the Ferrari through Sector 3. But Ghost gonna come out in P6 here. He'll look to try and lose Koru there, I think. And we'll see. Koru pits, actually. Only 7 lap old hards. Gets a time penalty for entering the pit lane, which is a great bug from the game. Why is Koru pitted? Does he have damage? No. He was only on 7 lap old hards. Interesting. Okay. Well, Koru out of that fight now for P4. Lawrence is pitted as well. He's come in, so not going to the end. MX might think about doing the same. I mean, Ghost is going to be closing in on him at a rate of knots. Surely. And next Hugo just sticks a nose in. Ghost sensibly lets him through. He's going to have the DRS on the second part though, so smart racing. He's just got to get the decent exit that he would need to make the run down. Hugo harvesting the battery, you can see by the red light, and Ghost gets straight back past. Hugo might fight it around the outside, chooses not to though, slots in. Tomasz has caught this battle now. Josh is not too far behind, you can see him in the background there, looming in the distance. But this fight for P4, getting exciting now. When does MX come in? Is it this lap? Lawrence and Jacko getting racy with each other there. MX stays out another lap. I think he's going to the end. I think he's going to try it. I mean, why not? Or he's going to put on a set of softs right at the dying moments. Lawrence and Jacko having a good race with each other there. Jasper in a bit of no man's land as Griffin comes in for his stop. I mean, the one stop was definitely the strategy. Finley was correct. That's Tomasz getting very close to the back of Hugo, looking around the outside of turn 5. I think this is the battle we'll focus on, as it's the closest and the most intense on track right now. This could be a free ride situation. Ghost defends to the inside there. You've got Tomasz and you home hug. They don't want to pass here. They want the DRS down in towards the next corner. Through the chicane they all go, nice and clean. But here we go then. Tomasz will follow along with. He's got Josh now for company behind him, but Ghost is going to be under all sorts of pressure. Ghost defends to the inside. Both cars going to try and sweep around him though in turn 9. And they're going to both get him, I think. Ghost fights away with Tomasz though. The grip on that Aston Martin will be so much better on the mediums. And through he goes. Ghost demoted down to P7 in just one corner. But he's not out of this yet. The DRS is strong here. All they've got to do is stick with Hugo. Hugo's had a great drive to get himself back into the top 5 after that horrible glitch. There's a time penalty for MX. That'll get removed most likely as he comes in for his stop. Finally in. Not crazy enough to go all the way to the end. We'll see where he comes out. He was racing with Lawrence and co. Lawrence and co are coming through the last corner now. MX is leaving the pits. Here's Lawrence. Here's MX. Oh, he's going to be out on the behind this train. Yeah, there we go. Out he comes. He might even be amongst it, actually. There's Joey B. And slotting in front of him is MX. So we've got a pretty nifty battle for P9. And then further up the road, Tomasz down the inside of Hugo there. They're fighting for P4. Best of the rest in this race. And Ghost was getting pretty close to the back of this as well. And let's see, will Hugo go for the move again in towards turn number 9? Doesn't quite have the closing speed there. Harvesting the battery. None of them have all that much battery. Josh has a lot more. Ghost has a lot more to use as well. But Tomasz has really, really used that battery. And is fighting for P4 here in the race. MX passing Jackalacco. It's very close between the two of them. Lawrence and Koru side by side, further ahead as well. But they come through cleanly. MX gets ahead of Jackalacco though in that McLaren, and they all filter through the hotel section. Kevin O'Reilly and Lewis battling it out down for the last few points paying positions. Rick might be trying to snatch a point off of one of them though. Let's take a look at the penalty situation. It's track limits for everybody, or 3 seconds, all those penalties there for Griffin, Lewis, Kevin O'Reilly, Joey B, MX, Koru and Dake. I think a few of those might be removable though, as to that horrible pit lane glitch. Meanwhile, back to the battle for P4. Ghost just about keeping within DRS there. That's what he's got to do if he wants to keep that fight for P4 alive. But we'll see. Josh is here as well, both joining them. Those mediums doing Thomas a load of favours. But all of them holding station for now. Let's see, what about this battle further back? It's all three wide as they go through. Lawrence and MX both going around. It's a Hakkinen Schumacher overtake on that Ferrari. MX now leads this train. Lawrence slots in behind in the final slot in the top 10. And the Ferrari of Koru looks to the inside. That was very risky from the Ferrari. But no contact there. MX on those medium tyres. I think he should sail off into the distance. I think Jasper might be his target. Trying to get that P8 spot. Hugo, though, losing the DRS. This could be crucial. He's going to use that battery and try and get back in the DRS of Tomasz. He's managed it, I think. The detection point is just the sector 1 end, so he'll have the DRS this time. He's got to be careful, though. He's on the oldest of the tyres among this group. Tomasz is now leading the train, which is going to help him out. He's got the grip to keep them all behind. In theory, he's just got to lose them. Easier said than done. Oh, using the battery. There's no battery left on any of these cars, really. As Hugo all over the back of this Aston Martin again. Can't find a way through on this occasion. Lawrence trying to close back in on MX. Jackalacco, Koru, Joey B, all in this train behind him. Two big battles going on. The biggest battle, of course, is Kylo Ren versus Extra X AI. Down the inside he goes. And there's a spinner. Is that Jack? No, it's Rick. Rick's round at turn 9. He was looking at points, and I don't think it's going to happen now. 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5 laps to go. Ricky EV or VE once again. A torrid time. A torrid time indeed. These top 3 just chilling. We've not really focused on them a lot since the start of the race. Dake, Verstappen, Kylo, all there, but Tomasz under pressure once again from Hugo. They're trying to save some battery, these guys. Tomasz lighting up the rears on exit there. That's not going to help his tyres. It's going to overheat them and it's going to wear them down, but not affecting him too much. Further back, Lawrence staying with MX. He's got that 3 seconds, but we suspect it's removable. Same goes for Koru. So I think this is actually a battle for position for most of these drivers here. MX leading the train. Closing in Jasper. He's reeling him in slowly. Can he catch him before the end of the race? See, Hugo losing a lot of time to Tomasz through sector 3. But then he gains it all back. That's where you've got to do it, Tomasz. You've got to lose them in sector 3. And then ensure that they don't get DRS down the first straight. And then it's sort of plain sailing from there. You've got to get your exits right onto the next DRS straight to try and lose them. But Hugo's closed back in as well. Ghost is pretty close to the back of these guys as well now. Will Hugo go for a move this time? Let's see, he's got the speed, he's going for it this time. Down the inside goes Hugh Home Hug, takes away P4 from Tomasz, but Tomasz is going to have another go at him in towards turn 9. This is fantastic racing for that best of the rest position. Tomasz isn't close enough. Ghost could be in for a move here as well. Can't get close enough though. Slipstream not really helping them. As Hugo now P4 sandwiches those two Saubers who are in P2 and 3. While Koru gets past Lawrence. That must have been on the previous straight. Lewis, Kevin O'Reilly and Griffin all fighting for P14, 15 and 16. One of them will miss out on points. Who will it be? Joey B lost the back of this train a few laps ago and now he's in P13. Just trying to hold on to some points. Swadenborg Ghost. The DRS trains are so fickle sometimes. It's so frustrating. You know you've got more pace. There's just nothing you can do to get past. All you've got to hope for is a mistake or battling from the guys ahead of you. But if you're in Ghost or Josh's position, you're not in a great place when it comes to trying to get past. MX is checked out from this train. He's set his sights on Jasper for P8. Koru, Lawrence, Jacko, they're still fighting for that last spot in the top 10. And back to the front fight here at the moment. P4, 14 lap old hard tyres now. I think the tyre wear will be relatively equal at this stage. I think between both the mediums and the hards. It's going to be a case of who's managed it better now. That race, these gaps sort of stagnant for the time being. Nobody really going for moves. Maybe just holding back. Hugo charging the battery. Ghost trying to charge that battery as well. And they're all sat around sort of 30%. Hugo around 50% of that battery there. Just trying to push and use as much of it as possible. Ghost just needs to stay with them. He has. These 6 and 7's been a solid go for Williams. Solid proponents for driver of the day, I think. Are those two Williams cars. But we'll see. Hugo's had a great comeback drive as well. As Josh is going to go past team orders at Williams. Ghost lets Josh through to have a go, and oh my word, that is a beautiful helmet, Josh. 10 out of 10. Love it. I don't know why I gave it last week, but if I gave it a rubbish score, I'm giving it a good one now. As Tomasz though looks to the outside, this is the battle that the Williams will hope will happen. Is there going to be contact going through turn 9? They're close together, but it's good, clean racing as they go through. Little squirrely for I can't speak. The Aston Martin. MX has got his way past Jasper there for P8. We're on the ending few corners of the penultimate lap. It is go time. Hugo is going to be under all sorts of pressure now from Tomasz. We haven't checked in with the leaders for a little while. We'll check in a few moments' time. But right now, we're focusing on Hugo, Tomasz, Josh and Ghost. This battle for P4 has raged on for the majority of their second stint. And we'll see how we go. 6-7. I know I'm talking about. It's been a relatively non-thrilling race, but anyways, Hugo got it all to do now. Josh is going to be closing in as well. I think he's going to be a big factor in this. This could be a three-way battle in towards turn 9. Let's see. Tomasz is doing everything he can to stay with Hugo. Hugo trying to just keep them all behind as they all go through. Bit of a terrible exit though from Josh, and that's not going to help his cause for this last spot. Hugo's got too much of a gap here, and Tomasz isn't going to find his way through. Meanwhile, Kylo Ren rounds the final corner to win in dominant fashion. No, he's not won. I've done a Lawrence. It's not the last lap. The last lap is now. God, I'm such an idiot. That's embarrassing. He's not won yet, but he will soon. Back to the battle for P4. Oh, I was so sure of myself. God damn. That's going to get clipped later. I won't live that one down. I was saying how much I hate Crofty earlier, and now I've just done a big Crofty moment. Anyway. I'm here for your entertainment. Meanwhile, Tomasz, under big pressure now from Josh, actually. He's lost a bit of time to Hugo. Very wide. He's super slidey on those mediums. He's not comfortable on them at all. You can see he's all over the place, really. And I think Josh is going to go for it. I think it's worth going for it here because he can get up to P5. Maybe have a go at Hugo, but doesn't quite go for it on this occasion. Let's see what sort of exit he gets through the chicane. A better one than Tomasz. He takes out the DRS board as he goes through. But we are now on the last lap. Kylo Ren is about to win this race. No moves made in the battle for P4. So this time, no doubt at all, Kylo Ren wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with Dakar going to cross the line in P2. You've then got, not far behind, QVR Verstappen rounding off that podium. But is it going to be Hugo P4? Yes, it is. It's a 1-4 for Red Bull, a 2-3 for Sauber. Sauber will continue to take the lead in this Constructors. Can Josh make a final move? He does go for it, but doesn't get close enough. And Tomasz is going to hold on for dear life for P4 there as the two Williams crash across the line. Then MX, solid drive for P8 for him. He probably will get that penalty removed unless he got some more warnings. But Lawrence holds on to 10th in the end. A better race for Lawrence. That's a very nice helmet, actually, Lawrence. Hugo is your driver of the day, Coffee. You know what? I'm inclined to agree. There's a few contenders. I think if Josh or Ghost managed to get into P4, I think they would have taken it. But I'll give it to Hugo. He came all the way from the back for Tomasz and Josh and Ghost beautifully. So there's your driver of the day, Ghost. I'm going to go move over to a party to collect hopefully some interviews. Let me do that now. And then I'll tag them. I'll quickly make a party before the results come up. There we go. And then I'll pop up a message. There's Kylo Ren, he's already here. Nice and eager. Let's go. Oh, it's Verstappen on PC. I don't know if it's on... No. There they are celebrating on the podium. Very quiet races for all three of them, I think. The first few laps was a bit of chaos, but it all settled down in the end as they celebrate. There are your stats. There, race winner, fastest lap driver of the day, overtakes, and cleanest driver there, of course. But it is then Kylo Ren, your race winner. He is flanked on either side by Dakar and Verstappen on that podium. You've then got Hugo and Tomasz, the top five. Hugo taking driver of the day. P6 is Josh. Then there's Ghost in P7, Jasper, MX, and Lawrence, the rest of the top 10. You've then got Jakalako, Koru, Griffin Lewis, Joey B, and Kevin O'Reilly. All the way down to P16 with Rick, LBT, Xtrek, and Paulie Orange, the rest of the grid. I'll try and get everybody else in for some interviews. I can't remember if Verstappen's... No, he is PlayStation. Okay, so we can talk to him. Interesting. It's Verstappen joining Dakar.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay, I didn't see the notification pop in. Okay, we've got everyone. So I've been a bit all over the place today in this commentary session. So we'll talk to our race winner then, Kylo. Pretty dominant, quiet race there for you. You had Hugo battling you for a little while, at least for pole position, but unfortunate time drive through for him left you able to just walk away with it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say about straight. I had a good qualifying, was tight. But yeah, it's a shame that Hugo got a drive through, to be honest. But I think he still finished fourth, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
So that's good points for the team. But yeah, it was not really much to say about that race. I'm not sure what happened at the start because they lost quite a lot of time quite fast at the start. I presume they were battling. But if that didn't happen, I think Daki's pace was on equal to mine. But I was going to say the Delta in three was just staying the whole time. So I'm sure if he was really battling me, that didn't happen at the start. But yeah, there's not really much to say about that race.
Yeah, I mean, it must have been easy to manage the tyres. I mean, the tyre weight's a bit up and down at this track, but was always a one-stop in mind.
Yeah, it was always one stop. I was just managing the whole time. But yeah, one stop was always in my mind, never two stop.
Yeah, definitely. And, well, what do we think the chances of the constructors? I know you're leading in the drivers right now, which you'll continue to do so, but you've got Hugo as a teammate. Do you reckon the pair of you can take the fight to these Sauber boys?
I hope so, mate. They've already got quite a big lead, so it will be tough. But yeah, we'll just try to score as many points as possible.
It's what I hear. Lawrence, if you pay him 50 quid, he'll take one of them out. Oh dear, but no, a great win today, Kylo. You got the lead, didn't look back, and solid defense to your your championship hopes. There you go. Amazing. It was Dakar second, so I'll talk to you, Dakar, now. Well, I think it's fair to say the pair of you had a bit more work to do because you had a few extra names on the grid in your way. You had Hugo and LTB. How did you approach racing them in the first lap, and how was the race from then?
Yeah, so the qualifying was very high level across the board. I don't think I could have got much more, so P3 was all right. And yeah, the start didn't was frustrating because I got an illegal overtake on Hugo after the first VSC, even though it was after we got back to racing. So I had to let him through, and in doing so, and I think I did so perfectly safely, but MX still ran into the back of me. That may be one for the stewards, I don't know. But down the straight, he gets through, and then I just get stuck horrifically throughout the first stint. So it was a frustrating point in the race, and yeah, so I was pretty cautious generally, just trying to stay clean, but yeah, was definitely took a while for that race to get going for me.
Yeah, I mean, it looked a bit of a slog in that first stint at the very least. Lots of chaos going on, but was the split strategy a decision you guys made before the race?
To be honest, because both myself and Verstappen were in horrific form in race practice in like Grand Prix mode, we were both thinking of two stopping, but we realised that in the actual race we were both feeling much better, and so we kind of transitioned to one stops in the meantime. As my he helped me out a lot in the first stint after my tires started to go off. He kind of dragged me along and kind of gave me the one stop idea because I saw I'm not wearing that much. I'm getting some nice assistance, so I could stretch the mediums quite a lot longer than I thought, and then could go for that one stop because it really wasn't clear for us at first.
Yeah, I mean, I guess your guys' focus is catching up with Kylo now. You are the closer of the two drivers, but I know. Are you just going to continue to work together, try and get the best? You're going to do a McLaren and make no clear number one. What's the goal going forward? Because you've got a big lead right now in the constructors. It's that drivers' championship that I think both of you will be chasing after.
Yeah, no, we're at the moment we definitely don't have any kind of set rules, but we do try and stay out of each other's way as much as we can in the races, and that's worked pretty well for us so far and did tonight as well. So Yeah, things are going pretty strongly. We're still chasing the drivers. There's still a constructors threat, I think, if Hugo is showing up to race after race, because those two guys are absolutely rapid, and I think they did outscore us marginally today as well. But so we're not taking anything for granted. But yeah, I think at the moment we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing at the moment and see if it pays off at the end of the season.
All right, there we go. Can't wait for the for the team orders later down the line. But solid race, Dakar. Shame that virtual safety car caused a little bit of carnage there for you. And Verstappen finally. We'll get on to you. I mean, I could probably field you all the same questions really, because I think you both had a pretty similar race, but I don't know. I think I'm just trying to think of a decent question. I never prepare these beforehand. I just kind of go with it. I don't know. I mean, it was a bit of a more difficult qualifying for you, so you was a bit more on the back foot of it. But it was just a case of sort of sticking on the back of these guys, waiting for opportunities.
Pretty much, yeah. From GP modes, Dakar already said, I just did not feel confident whatsoever. I ended up going like very low downforce because it's the only way I could actually be quick somewhere. And just generally qualifying, there was not much more than that I did, so as around that. And then we kind of got stuck behind a few guys that, as mentioned before, just kind of draws back. The MX causing some chaos as well. I think I had a similar moments with LTB in VSC as well, where it overtook him and then it told me I had an illegal overtake. And then eventually we got past those guys, and then we just tried to pull away as much as possible. Obviously at that point the mediums were kind of deteriorating, so I just, I thought just the hards would be better and went in front and held both our races, I think, in the end. And then, as Staka said, two stop was I only started considering the one stop about halfway through, honestly, because I was like, Dak just pitted, and then I was like, well, I might as well just try and stretch this. So in the end, kind of risked the puncture in the first stint, but it just about paid off. And the mediums, I did not like them whatsoever. So I just kind of got left in the middle of nowhere, but good enough for a podium.
I mean, it's ended the slight drought you're under after your win in Brazil, but I think you're trailing your teammate right now. What have you got to do to beat Dakar and Kylo?
Quite a lot. I honestly, some luck's gonna come the way to beat Kylo. I think he's just got the pace on at least me. And that's just like I'm gonna have to do it on some sort of strategy or a different chaotic race where he loses points. And other than that, I just need to see, honestly, because the tracks coming up aren't, at least at the end of the season, aren't great for me. So that's it's gonna be a challenge.
Well, as I said, Chuck Lawrence 50 quid, he'll strike somebody down like it's a bollard. But fantastic race. Well done on getting back on the podium, Verstappen.
Thank you.
That's going to be it, of course. I've done Driver of the Day, so Ghost won't shout at me for missing that one. But we'll be back again same time next week. It is the super weird Silverstone reverse and right way round, sprint round that we're going to go racing at. That'll be interesting to do. But that'll be same time, same place next week. We'll see if the Saubers can continue their dominance in the constructors. Maybe the Red Bulls will close in on them, or perhaps Kylo will be dethroned as the leader. But that's all stuff to be found out in the next race here in APPF1 Tier 1. Make sure you go watch all the other racing action that is to be found out there as well. And check out the podcast. There you go. That's the last thing I've got to say. It's always a good thing to listen to on a Monday and or Tuesday or possibly even Wednesday morning whenever Ghost decides to upload it. But I've been Sumo. I'm going to stop rambling on now. I'll see you again next week for some more APPF1 action. Goodbye.